Live at 5, home of Triple Doubler Radar. This is your News Channel 3.
Right now on your News Channel 3 at 5, Redskins fans rejoice. Former head coach Joe Gibbs is coming home. We've got the latest on his NFL return.
In an exclusive interview, a grieving mom breaks her silence. Hear how she's coping after losing her toddler in a whale-watching accident Christmas Day.
And another local mom seeks justice after her son is gunned down on New Year's Day. Good evening, everyone. I'm Barbara Sierra.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Randalls. Right now, family and friends are remembering 18-year-old Patrick McKinley. He was killed just hours into the new year in Newport News' first murder of 2004. Now, 2 teens are behind bars charged in his shooting death. The news is little comfort to Patrick's mom. Tonight, she is attending her son's wake. News Channel 3's Lisa Godley sat down with her earlier today. Lisa is standing by with the very latest on this heartbreaking story.
Good evening, Tom. Because of the fear generated by this shooting, Jeanette Richardson was in the process of hiring off-duty police officers to provide security for her son's memorial services. But now that the suspects are in custody, she's just concentrating on getting through one memorial service after another.
My son was basically a dream come true for any mother.
Jeanette Richardson wants people to celebrate her son's life, not mourn 18-year-old Patrick McKinley's death. That's why on this day, as friends and family members begin to gather for his wake, she sat down with News Channel 3 to talk about the young man who she says stood for peace, humanity, and acceptance.
My son was the kindest, most beautiful, giving soul. He was a peaceful creature beyond anything I can even imagine on this earth.
McKinley was shot about an hour into the new year. Witnesses say he came outside his mother and stepfather's Marina Drive home to ask people who were honking a car horn to stop. An argument ensued and McKinley was shot in the chest. He died shortly thereafter.
Happened for no reason. Happened for horn honking. Everyone was afraid. Is he coming back? When will that happen again? How many buddies does he have?
2 men have been arrested for the crime, 18-year-old Patrick Denny and 18-year-old Kyle Saunders. For Richardson, to know that they've been arrested is peace of mind.
Absolute relief. And for their safety, for their own personal safety, as I have stated before, for the safety of my children, for the safety of this community, for the safety, because we really have been terrorized.
Coming up tonight on News Channel 3 News at 6, Jeanette Richardson talks about the punishment that she believes her son's alleged killers should receive. That's new at 6. Reporting live from the Peninsula Newsroom at Oyster Point, Lisa Godley, News Channel 3.
A man accused in a Valentine's Day murder learned his fate today. It took a Norfolk jury less than 3 hours to find Joseph Great guilty of first-degree murder in a drive-by shooting, the shooting of Derek Williams. News Channel 3's Bob Matthews is live in downtown Norfolk with the story. Bring us up to date on this, Bob.
Well, Barbara, the jury today decided that apparently Joseph Great did follow Derek Williams out of Waterside. Williams left in his car, according to testimony, first out of this garage you see behind me, went down St. Martin's Lane, then made a right, wound up on Freemason. It was there, according to the jury, that Great followed him and shot him right on Freemason Street. This look at our News Channel 3 camera was the only emotion Michael Great showed in his 3-day murder trial. It took the jury 2.5 hours to find him guilty of first-degree murder and use of a firearm. Great shot Derek Williams here on Freemason Street on February 14, 2002. Derek Williams' mother, Juanita Gainey, said that night will be a nightmare for her for the rest of her life.
It hurts. I don't have any more Christmases, no more holidays. Derek won't walk in my house. He won't hug me. He won't kiss me.
Great was sentenced to 23 years on the first-degree murder and the use of the firearm convictions. His mother made an emotional plea for mercy.
All I know is I don't want him to stay in jail for the rest of his life.
He could have received life in prison, but 23 years was enough for the Gainey family.
I'm very happy what the jury decided. I wanted the jury to have mercy on him. I want God to have mercy on him. I feel sorry for his mother. Her son is gone.
This is a far cry from the mood outside of a courtroom during a preliminary hearing last year. Juanita Gainey, though, says she wants to forgive both Great and says she has no ill will towards his family. Now, we talked to her at length today. We're working on that story about forgiveness, and we'll have it for you tonight on News Channel 3 at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live in downtown Norfolk. Bob Matthews, News Channel 3.
Tonight, only on your News Channel 3, one day after filing a lawsuit in her son's death, a Norfolk mom is speaking out. 3-year-old Riker Hamilton was on a whale-watching cruise Christmas Day in Hawaii. That's when he hit his head on the boat's railing and died. Now his family is suing the cruise company, saying an inattentive captain caused the boy's death. Today, in an exclusive interview aired on your News Channel 3, Riker's family tells Inside Edition the lawsuit is not about money.
And do something to prevent another child or individual from dying or getting seriously injured and having a family go through this, then it will be worth it.
I want somebody to take responsibility for this, and I know what I saw.
We'll have more on that emotional interview new tonight at 5:30. Meantime, the president of Dream Cruises in Hawaii, which operates the boat, says the accident was tragic but unavoidable. The Coast Guard is still investigating.
Tonight, a Portsmouth family is dealing with the loss of their beloved pets in an overnight house fire. The fire damaged the home so severely it had to be condemned. News Channel 3's Priscilla Monti says the entire neighborhood is now mourning the loss of the Great Dane named Jasper.
First, there was smoke, then flames, then neighbors running to help.
I went over there and started beating on the door to see if I could hear anything, which I didn't hear anything coming on in the house. I felt the door was hot.
Then I saw the flame started coming out. It was right bad. And heard that the 2 animals died in there.
No people were home at 93 Harris Road, but a house cat named Penelope and a Great Dane named Jasper were inside when the fire started just before 1 a.m. Both perished. The family who owned the home was devastated to learn of the animals' deaths. They did not want to speak on camera. Fire crews managed to keep the home from burning to the ground, but it is condemned, meaning no one can live here for now. Late morning, the woman who lives here returned to see what could be salvaged. She told me all she has left of her dog is this one photo taken on a recent trip of all places to the fire station. Neighbors remember Jasper with his huge paws on top of the fence surrounding the yard.
He stayed behind that big fence right there. They wouldn't let him out. He looked like a horse coming down the road.
He was just a good dog, real friendly, he wouldn't hurt nobody.
And never even barked to let neighbors trying to get in to save him. No, he and Penelope were inside in the fire. In Portsmouth, Priscilla Monti, News Channel 3.
And this footnote, firefighters tell us they believe the animals died from smoke inhalation. They say the fire was ignited by an oil-burning floor furnace. In Hampton, the search is on for a new mayor, and today council began reviewing applications for the job. Current Mayor Mamie Locke is headed to Richmond. She won the 2nd District Senate seat back in November. Locke will officially step down on January 13th. If a council member becomes the new interim mayor, his or her replacement will also be named at that time. The interim mayor will have to run for election in the spring for the position to become permanent.
The whole town is buzzing about one of the biggest comebacks in pro sports. Listen to this. Today, the Redskins announcing that former head coach Joe Gibbs is returning next season. Gibbs led the Redskins to their only 3 Super Bowl titles. Sports director Ted Alexander joins us now with more. Ted, big doings. Hail to the Chiefs, or not Chiefs, but the Redskins.
The Redskins. Daniel Snyder's caught a lot of heat for some of the decisions he's made in the past. He's a hero today, Tom. Talk about your belated Christmas gift. The Redskins nation is joyous tonight, and with good reason. The only coach to ever lead them to a Super Bowl championship is coming back. Joe Gibbs, the biggest coaching name in Washington sports history, has been lured out of retirement by Daniel Snyder. He will return to coach the Redskins next season. Why is everybody so excited? Simply because Gibbs knows how to get it done. He won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. His 140-65 record in 12 seasons with the Skins was good enough to get him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 1996. Since he retired on that March day in 1993, Washington has gone 74, 101, and 1. The move will be made official at a press conference tomorrow in Washington. Coming up tonight on News Channel 3 News at 6, can one man turn the mess that is the Redskins around? Or has Joe Gibbs' time come and gone? We'll discuss tonight at 6.
Looking forward to it. Wait, you know, coaches do make a difference.
You're absolutely right.
Tampa, Dallas, right.
And if nothing else, it'll be fun to watch.
Yes, it will.
So what is your 3 cents on the return of head coach Joe Gibbs? Here are a few of your thoughts.
And I think Joe Gibbs coming back is great. I do have a message for all the Cowboy fans in Tidewater. This is no longer your turf.
And I think they'll get Joe Gibbs back and let him run them Redskins like he used to in the old days. Thanks.
Now tell us your opinion on Gibbs' return. Call the News Channel 3 talkback line at 624-3664 or just log on to our website at WTKR.com and give us your 3 cents. You could very well hear your response broadcast right here on your News Channel 3.
To the weather now. A huge snowstorm is wreaking havoc on travelers in the west. In Oregon, all flights in and out of Portland International Airport were canceled this morning. The snowstorm was the biggest since 1996. Nearly a foot of snow has fallen on the area, which normally has relatively mild weather.
Oh, we're happy to say that things aren't that bad right here in Hampton Roads, but it sure felt cold this morning. And now there's talk that we might see some snow. Triple Doppler Chief Meteorologist Dave Parker is in the Weather Center with the latest. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Barbara. It does look like we'll see a little bit of light snow as we head towards Friday, probably a little more in regards to flurries. We're going to see a lot more cold air, though, over the next 4 days than any amount of snow. So our focus in the forecast for the next couple of days will be in the cold air and not the snow. Temperatures right now low in mid-30s. Of course, a lot of folks are saying, hey, it's January. It's supposed to be cold. Well, normally temperatures at this time of the year are around 47 to 48 degrees, so we are running well below normal on the south side up towards the Hampton area. As we travel up towards the eastern shore, it's down in the 20s there. 31 in Newport News, it's 34 in Franklin, 36 right now in Edenton, North Carolina. And there's still a lot of cold air to come. You see temperatures stacked up in the 20s and teens, well back off to the west, and that is the cold air rushing our way, and that's going to last all the way through the weekend. And in addition to that, we do have a very weak system that's going to roll our way for Friday. We'll talk about the chances of that cold air interacting with that weak system, giving us a little bit of snow. We'll talk about that possibility in the triple Doppler forecast.
See you then, Dave. Thank you. There are roughly 8 million illegal immigrants in the United States, most of them from Mexico. Now, President Bush wants to change U.S. immigration policy. And if Congress approves his new plan, many of those illegals would be able to work here legally. Elizabeth Sanchez has more on the controversy.
Millions of undocumented workers will no longer have to fear being deported if President Bush gets his way. He's called for Congress to approve a temporary worker plan that gives immigrants legal status as long as they have a job offer.
Out of common sense and fairness, our laws should allow willing workers to enter our country and fill jobs that Americans are not filling.
The plan grants guest worker status to foreigners with a job for 3 years, but employers have to show that no U.S. citizen wanted the job. When Mark McGuire opened his restaurant in Texas, he says nearly all of the applicants were immigrants.
If we can get these people to register and become documents and give them legal status, then we know where they work, we know where they live, and we know where they are. Right now, they have to live in the shadows because they can't get legal status.
Supporters also say the plan will make America safer. But is it rewarding illegal immigrants who broke the law when they entered the country? Critics say yes.
And no matter how you want to dress it up, no matter what euphemism you want to use to describe it, legalization, regularization, it's amnesty. You are rewarding people for breaking the law.
The president called Mexico's President Vicente Fox this morning to tell him about the plan. It comes just days before the two are to meet in Mexico. Some say it's a move to smooth relations and try to get the Latino vote in November. Elizabeth Sanchez, CBS News, Washington.
In California, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger opened his first State of the State address by joking that he'd rather go back to acting, but then he admitted he was just kidding.
I love working for the people of California. It is better than being a movie star.
He went on to focus on the state's financial crisis, saying California will go bankrupt if it doesn't implement major spending cuts. The governor did not give the details of his plan. Those will be released in a budget proposal sometime later in the week.
For everyone who lost money in the Enron scandal, it looked like justice was finally going to be served today. A top exec and his wife pleading guilty to fraud and insider trading, but then the deal fell apart over plans to go easy on the couple's children. Scott Rappaport has more on this developing story.
At the start of the day, it appeared the first of the mighty were about to fall in the Enron case. Andrew Fastow, the company's chief financial officer, and his wife Leah, a former assistant treasurer, were negotiating a plea bargain with prosecutors that could have landed them both in federal prison. He would serve 10 years, his wife 5 months. The key to the deal, Fastow's wife Leah would serve her time first, then her husband. This so their children would always be in one parent's care. But late this afternoon, a judge in Houston rejected a plea agreement for Mrs. Fastow, saying he wanted more leeway with her sentence, throwing the entire deal into doubt. Attorney Ben Brofman specialized in white-collar crimes.
There is concern, perhaps, that if a sentence is perceived as too low or inconsistent with sentencing guidelines, that there's going to be a public outcry.
While everyone waits to see what comes next, the big question is, have prosecutors lost their deal with Andrew Fastow, and how damaging would that be? Was Fastow going to testify against Enron's former top executives Kenneth Lay and Jeffrey Skilling, neither of whom have been charged with any crimes to date? Under the original plea agreement, Andrew Fastow would have been the highest-ranking Enron executive to plead guilty in the Enron criminal investigation. At this hour, without a deal, he continues to face 98 counts of fraud, money laundering, and insider trading. Scott Rappaport, CBS News, New York.
In New York, a committee has chosen the final design for the World Trade Center Memorial from 5,000 applicants. Reflecting Absence features 2 reflecting pools marking the site where the Twin Towers once stood. The memorial design also includes the names of everyone killed in the 9/11 attacks in New York, D.C., and Pennsylvania, as well as those who died in the first World Trade Center bombing back in 1993.
Well, tonight, police are investigating an Ohio woman who says that she's the one who really bought the winning ticket for the $162 million Mega Millions jackpot. Alicia Battle says that she picked the winning numbers, then lost them sometime before the drawing. But yesterday, Ohio lottery officials handed over a check to Rebecca Jemison. They say they are confident that she is the rightful winner. At the same time, Battle filed a lawsuit to prevent any payout to the winner. Now, this isn't the first time police have investigated Battle. She was previously charged with credit card fraud and assault, but she was not convicted.
Looking for a fine wine? You don't have to look too far. Coming up, we're going to introduce you to some local seniors making a nationally award-winning vintage.
Snow could be on our horizon. Your exclusive 10-day triple Doppler forecast is straight ahead.
And with millions of Americans counting carbs, more restaurants are promoting protein. Next in your Health Watch, find out where to eat out without blowing that New Year's resolution.
Where will you be Friday night?
At the Greenbrier Mall.
Because it's time to outwit, outplay, outlast. It's time to audition for the next survivor.
Join us, the 2WD Breakfast Bunch, and your News Channel 3 Friday night at Greenbrier Mall.
Go to WTKR.com for details. We'll see you Friday.
You asked for more weather information beyond a 7-day forecast, and your News Channel 3 listened. The Triple Doppler 10-day pinpoints 7 days and trends an extra 3, giving you the information you need to plan your life. Only your News Channel 3.
The first bullet shattered his hand. The second and third hit his shoulder and leg. As he hit the jungle floor, he rallied the troops and directed the firefight. He remained with his unit until the battle was over. Now, when we need a leader to clean up the mess in Iraq, he's the one who has done it. In the Balkans, he helped negotiate a peace between bitter enemies and led a multinational force that stopped a campaign of terror, liberated a people, and brought peace without the loss of a single American soldier. He speaks 4 languages, but his actions speak more eloquently than words. He can get our country moving on jobs and health care. A quiet, real American courage in a man who cares first about the people he leads. Wes Clark's life is simply an American story, but he will make an extraordinary American president.
I'm Wes Clark, and I approve this message.
If you're a welder, or if you've worked around welding fumes, you might have a claim for money damages. If you've been exposed to welding fumes and have experienced stiff or weak muscles, including facial muscles, loss of balance, slurred speech, tremors or shaking, trouble walking, and changes in handwriting or other symptoms diagnosed as Parkinson's disease, call the law offices of Glasser & Glasser to see if you have a claim for money damages. Call 625-6787.
For dieters like me on low carbohydrate plans like Atkins, it can be a struggle just trying to find food to eat when you're dining out, you know.
But now restaurants and even some fast food companies are adapting their menus to match the low carb trend. News Channel 3 Health Watch reporter Cynthia Brooks has the story.
Carb-conscious dieters like Nestor Iglesias, dining out often means coming off the diet.
Well, the biggest problem is variety. You know, you go out to a restaurant and you can eat one meal, but that meal may not totally satisfy you. You can have 3 or 4, but that's going to cost you a pretty penny.
But there are more and more options to keep you on track while eating out. Several casual restaurant chains are offering low-carb menus.
50 million people currently are on some sort of new eating plan that involves low carbs, so we felt a great demand from our guests.
Here at Ruby Tuesday, there are low-carb beers, beef wraps, chicken sandwiches, and salads. Plus, dieters no longer have to push aside those side dishes.
We have a lot of substitutes, especially for the side items, you know, like a cream mashed cauliflower, a cream spinach, things like that, to help give people an extensive variety of things to choose from.
And there are things to keep from dreading dieting. Expect Burger King and McDonald's to offer low-carb items very soon. But remember, low-carb is no excuse to load up. The key to any diet, keep your portion sizes under control. Cynthia Brooks, News Channel 3 Health Watch.
An update now on a story we first brought you last month. It seems the Williamsburg family may be bringing home 4 new babies very soon. Julie Jefferson is pregnant with quadruplets. The multiple pregnancy happened naturally without the aid of fertility drugs. Right now, Julie is at a Richmond hospital because she started having contractions. This is archive video there. Now, if born now, each baby would weigh about 3 pounds, but doctors are trying to keep the babies in the womb for at least another week. We've got our fingers crossed for them, and we'll keep you posted.
All right, we've got our fingers crossed that it won't get so low out there that we won't want to step outside. How low is it going to go?
Tonight, most areas around 18 to 23, 25.
Get much colder. I'm going to have to get my dog some shoes.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly tonight. And speaking of pets, for those who don't have, you know, like an Alaskan Malamute that doesn't have a lot of hair, you might want to limit the amount of time that they're outside tonight. Outside right now on triple Doppler radar, skies are dry, a few clouds beginning to roll in, but for the most part it will be clear. And certainly cold tonight. There will be some teens. It will be the coldest night we've had so far this relatively short winter season. One of our triple Doppler weather watchers, Robert Wimberly, says he's got a few clouds moving in. Temperatures already down in the low 30s in Newport News by morning. Areas on the peninsulas, northern neck will be dropping down to around 19 to 21 degrees. Outside right now with our Skycam 3 network. Boy, this is a neat shot. This is a view of the full moon coming up over the Cape Henry area. And in January, typically we call that the wolf moon. That is the name that has been given to that by American Indians. There's a couple other names for that. We'll talk about that at 5:30 and also at 6 o'clock. Beautiful night tonight, but it's going to be a little chilly. Right now we're in the low and mid 30s, 31 at the beach, 30 in Hampton, 34 in Norfolk. It's 36 right now in Chesapeake, already down to the freezing mark in Portsmouth. Bay water temperature today is at 44 degrees. There are some 20s out there. We're going to find those on the eastern shore. 31 in Newport News and Williamsburg. Below freezing already in the Wakefield, Waverly, Windsor area. 32 in Ahoskie, 32 at the Coast Guard Station in Elizabeth City, 36 in Edenton, and on the beaches of Manteo, North Carolina, it is 32. So it's going to be chilly tonight, coldest night yet. We'll drop down to 18 to 24 degrees. The upper end of that range will be for those of you along the coast, especially in Carolina. But you head inland, you head west down 460 and 58. That's where you're going to find temperatures by morning dropping down into the upper teens. Skies right now mainly clear. We'll see a few clouds overnight. These are clouds mainly 15 to 20,000 feet up, not producing rain, not producing snow. But the trend for tomorrow is that more clouds will roll in for the afternoon and will likely pave the way for a few snow flurries as we head towards Friday. Now we can get a picture of that on our Futurecast radar. Shows you where the clouds and snow will be as we take you through late Friday as we head towards tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine. I think we'll see a few clouds in the morning. I know this picture here looks like a lot of clouds, but these are simply high base clouds, so I think the sun will have a little bit of a milky appearance to it in the morning hours. But as we head through the afternoon, those clouds will really begin to thicken. Still dry by tomorrow night. Our best chance for any amount of snow should come a little later in the day Friday. In fact, I'll fast forward to late Friday afternoon into Friday night. Here's Friday at 7 o'clock. You see the time up there. And what's going to happen? Little area of low pressure develops off the coast and should throw enough moisture back into that cold air that we should see some light snow. Best chance will be in Carolina, and that's going to be during the day Friday. Now, I'm not expecting much snow, so kids don't get too excited about it, but there should be enough, some flurries, maybe a brief snow shower. And then we've got the snowflake on Saturday due to Bay effect snow. We'll talk more about that at 5:30. But look at the temperatures, low 30s on Saturday. We'll stay in the 30s actually all the way through the weekend. Cold, rather a little warmer by Monday.
But as you said, it is January and it's supposed to be cold.
It's supposed to be cold.
Hey, talking about a flake or two, not worth it if you can't build a snowman.
It's not going to be doing that, I promise.
Thank you, David. Next up, we're going to introduce you to some award-winning winemakers, and you might be surprised to learn they live in a local nursing home.
And then new at 5:30, Senator and former First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton puts her foot in her mouth. We'll tell you why, a joke about Mahatma Gandhi, and a gas station has her in hot water. That's next at 5:30.
This Triple Doppler weather is brought to you by Cavalier Telephone.
After 10 years, it all comes down to this. The last Saturday of the North Carolina Company, before we close and change our store forever. One day. The great names in furniture, rugs, and mattresses at losses we'll never have to take again. Thousands of one-of-a-kind pieces from Henredon, Baker, Century, Bernhardt, Kingsdown, handmade Oriental rugs. It'll be the biggest furniture sale in our history. It'll be our last Saturday, 9 a.m. at the North Carolina Company.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. Be sure to stop by the Farm Fresh booth to learn about and sample foods promoting a healthy lifestyle through the Farm Fresh Natural Connection. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
Is the IRS stalking you? Do you feel like you're at the end of your rope? Stop the harassment now.
Hello, I'm John Harris, president of J.K. Harris & Company, the nation's largest tax representation firm. Our former IRS agents have helped thousands of our clients save millions of dollars, and they know how to make the system work for you.
Call the IRS experts at J.K. Harris now for your free confidential tax settlement analysis. Call 1-800-893-0351.
Three medium pizzas from Domino's for $13.99. That's more than enough food for three hungry guys. Hey, third guy. Gotta move faster than that.
3 medium one-topping pizzas for $13.99. Get the door. It's 3 medium pizzas from Domino's.
We will sell no wine before it's time. Oh, yeah. That might be, these folks might be enjoying the golden years, but that's not stopping some local seniors from making wine.
Oh, yes, the little winemakers, them. You heard it right. In fact, this is award-winning wine. Let's say that 3 times real fast. The residents at Marion Manor have a reason to celebrate. You see, for the past 5 years, these seniors at this beach retirement community pick grapes, crush them by hand, and go through the entire winemaking process. They recently entered an international winemaking competition that involved 4 countries and 41 states. They placed first in their category.
I was surprised and very happy for all of us that we did it. That's a big achievement.
Oh, it's so much better than last year. It deserved this medal. Really did. I thought it was delicious. In fact, I'll have another glass.
And we'll hear more about this unique hobby and what it means for the seniors new at 5:30. And it's that time of year again.
Time for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. Win a huge home for $100 while helping some very special kids. We'll tell you how next.
We're working hard to be your News Channel 3. It's almost here, the News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo, January 24th and 25th at the Virginia Beach Pavilion. It's Hampton Road's largest health event, and it's free. There's sports and fitness demonstrations, health and wellness information, and free screenings. Visit the News Channel 3 booth and learn more about weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Parker. And kick up your heels at the dance place with your favorite DJs from Rejoice 100.9. The News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo at the Virginia Beach Pavilion.
You want more weather information beyond a 7-day forecast?
I'd like more than 7 days.
If you gave me more than 7 days, that would be great.
I'd like to get more than 7 days if I could.
It would be nice to have an extended forecast.
Maybe 8, 9, or 10 days.
Now, only your News Channel 3 gives you a 10-day forecast.
More days than a 7-day. At least 9.
10 days. 10 days.
I'd love to see a 10-day forecast.
The 10-day triple Doppler forecast, only on your News Channel 3.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. Be sure to stop by the Farm Fresh booth to learn about and sample foods promoting a healthy lifestyle through the Farm Fresh Natural Connection. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
It's Hampton Road's largest health event, and it's free. The News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo, January 24th and 25th at the Virginia Beach Pavilion. There's sports and fitness demonstrations, health and wellness information, and free screenings. The News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
Are you ready to win an amazing home and help children all at the same time? The St. Jude Dream Home giveaway kicked off today, folks. Suffolk Mayor Dana Dinkins bought the first ticket. The $325,000 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom St. Jude Dream Home is on Nansemond River Drive in Suffolk's beautiful Nansemond River Estates. You too can have a shot at winning this gorgeous home. Tickets are just $100. They're available at any Heritage Bank and Trust, South Trust Bank, or Hancock Fabric starting next week. Or they can be purchased right now by calling 1-877-707-8703. The Dream Home giveaway will take place on April 18th live on your News Channel 3.
Live at 5:30, home of Triple Doppler Radar. This is your News Channel 3.
Winter weather hit hard on the West Coast, and it sent a cold chill across Hampton roads as well. Find out how low the temperatures will drop tonight.
And a mother in Norfolk speaks out on the death of her son in a freak whale-watching accident off the coast of Waikiki. Waikiki. I can't say that island name. Anyway, good evening, everyone. I'm Barbara Sierra.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. Thanks for joining us. It was supposed to be a fun-filled afternoon for a Norfolk family on a Hawaiian vacation.
But the trip suddenly turned tragic. A 3-year-old Riker Hamilton died Christmas Day when the tour boat his family was riding on collided with a humpback whale.
Tonight, only on 3, News Channel 3 airs an exclusive interview with Riker's mom and family.
And News Channel 3's Rick Holmes joins us now with details. Why is the family pursuing a lawsuit against the tour company?
Well, today was the first time that we heard from Riker's mother, Renee, and as you listen to her, you can tell that she's absolutely convinced that more could have been done to prevent this accident. Now, the company believes otherwise, and the question over who's to blame for Riker's death may be headed to court.
It's been an uphill battle against nature in much of the Pacific Northwest, with snow, ice, and freezing temperatures making...
Okay, we had the wrong tape there, but as they continue to investigate this, we can tell you that the Coast Guard's initial findings have cleared the tour company of any negligence or wrongdoing. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration continues to investigate. Today, for the very first time, one day after that lawsuit was filed, we heard from Riker's family. It was a Christmas Day accident beyond comparison. A tour boat collides with a humpback whale, killing 3-year-old Riker Hamilton of Norfolk.
He loved animals. He said, Nana, we're going to see turtles and dolphins and whales. And I said, yeah, baby, we're going to see them.
The Hamilton family spoke with Inside Edition about their first family vacation. Not long after boarding the boat, they spotted the whales. Riker's father, Ryan, picked up his son to get a closer look. But this amateur home video shows the boat and the whale got too close. It's believed Riker struck his head on a railing.
He was turning purple laying on this bench. It was horrible.
The Coast Guard airlifted Riker off the boat, but Riker died within 2 hours.
I was holding his head while she was performing CPR, and I was trying to talk to him. There was no first aid kit, there was no neck braces, there was no kind of anything.
The Hamiltons have filed a lawsuit against the tour company, which maintains its innocence.
What I think is a freakish accident that resulted in the loss of the child.
But the Hamiltons say this lawsuit isn't about money.
If we can do something to prevent another child or individual from dying or getting seriously injured and having a family go through this, then it will be worth it.
I want somebody to take responsibility for this, and I know what I saw.
Now, Riker's mother is obviously still shaken up, and as far as Riker's father is concerned, he did not want to be part of that Inside Edition piece. Back to you.
Thank you, Rick. People face some bone-chilling temperatures across Virginia this morning, with the wind chill dipping below zero in parts of western Virginia.
I guess many of the questions we have is what can we expect right here in Hampton Roads from that weather event? Chief Meteorologist Dave Parker has details live from our Weather Center. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Tom. We will not be setting any record lows tonight, but it will be the coldest night we've had so far this season. You factor in the wind right now, and it feels like we're down in the teens and 20s. These are the wind chills. Wind chills down in the teens on the eastern shore. They're down in the 20s and 30s across the border counties from North Carolina up into Virginia. Now, here's what will happen to the actual air temperature by tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow morning, I mean sometime between 5 and 7 a.m. on your Thursday morning. Most areas along the coast, from Matthews to Hampton, Cape Charles, down towards Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Elizabeth City, 21 to 24 degrees. You head farther north, though, up Highway 13 on the eastern shore. You head just past Matthews and Gloucester out towards Surrey, west down 460 and 58, and temperatures by morning 17 to 20 degrees. Lots of cold air will stay in place for the next 3 to 4 days. We have a weak weather system heading towards that cold air, and it does mean a pretty good chance for some flurries. We'll talk about who has the greatest chance for that and how much we may get. All of that coming up in the triple Doppler forecast.
Well, our weather has nothing on the West Coast, folks, where winter's making life miserable for everyone. A record mix of snow, ice, and sub-freezing temperatures there. The winter storm has shut down roads, schools, and businesses from Seattle to Portland. And as CBS's John Blackstone tells us, even more misery is on the way.
It's been an uphill battle against nature in much of the Pacific Northwest, with snow, ice, and freezing temperatures making travel treacherous.
Probably should just close the hills down in this time of year.
Many roads were closed or barely moving through much of Oregon and Washington. In a region where rain is frequent but snow is rare, a few inches is enough to cause plenty of trouble.
Once you get through the snow, there's the ice, so sure, it's scary.
In Seattle, among the many struggling to fit tire chains, was Sheriff's Deputy Matt Tye, who didn't believe it when the weather forecast called for snow.
I don't like weathermen, and I don't like it when they're right.
But even with warning, it's hard to be prepared in a place where snow shovels aren't part of the usual equipment. Darrell Drew scraped the Seattle snow away with a window washer squeegee.
Squeegeeing the sidewalk, can you keep up with the snow?
Well, I was until it started snowing heavier, but we're doing okay.
In Olympia, Washington, a forklift with a wooden pallet was employed as a snowplow. Near Eugene, Oregon, a real snowplow was at work, but slid off the road it was trying to clear. The usual method of snow removal here is warmer temperatures and rain.
It's not that bad. It'll be all gone, what, day after tomorrow.
But a quick melt could bring more problems. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch for much of western Washington through the end of the week. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
Well, brutal weather led to a series of massive pileups on Pennsylvania's interstate on yesterday. Take a look at the tangled mess of cars and semis on Interstate 80 near College Station. This is just one of several wrecks. At least 30 semi-trucks and 20 cars plowed into each other here, killing 4, injuring at least 17, and some people may still be in the wreckage. More than 24 hours later, wreckers are still trying to clear the highway. Survivors say they lost control when blizzard conditions suddenly got worse, dropping visibility to 0. Close to 8 million illegal immigrants live in the U.S., and if the president gets his way, they could soon become legal workers. It all depends on Congress and if it approves a new plan pushed by President Bush that would change immigration policy and create a new temporary worker program. The plan allows foreign workers to apply for guest worker status for 3 years, just as long as they can keep the job. Those guest workers would receive Social Security cards and, in some states, a driver's license.
An economic need here in this country, and this is about matching willing workers with willing employers. That's what this is about.
Both Republicans and Democrats say Latinos are vital in the November election. Critics say President Bush is using the plan to gain a large number of Latino votes. New York Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton is apologizing for a bad joke. In St. Louis, Clinton said that Mahatma Gandhi used to run a gas station in the city. The director of an organization devoted to the teachings of Gandhi said Clinton's words were stereotypical and racially insensitive. Clinton says it was just a lame attempt at humor as she introduced a political candidate in Missouri.
Because I love this quote. It's from Mahatma Gandhi. He ran a gas station down in St. Louis for a couple of years. Mr. Gandhi, you can still go to the gas station? A lot of wisdom comes out of that gas station.
Well, Clinton says she now regrets offending anyone with her comments. 2 Ohio women are battling over a lottery jackpot worth $162 million.
Barbara, it is a case of she said, she said. Each woman claiming she bought the winning ticket. Now a court may have to decide. Cynthia Bowers reports.
I would like to present you with this check.
It's an increasingly common sight. Lottery winners being presented checks for increasingly outlandish sums of money.
The winning jackpot was actually $162 million.
After taxes, hospital worker Rebecca Jemison will walk away with approximately $94 million.
This is truly a blessing, truly a blessing.
But not if Alicia Battle has her way. She claims she's the real winner.
I know what I picked. I know when I picked them, and I know why I picked them.
Then, sometime before the drawing, she says she lost her ticket. She even filed a police report, spurring a greedy search for the mega-million-dollar grail in the convenience store parking lot. Tuesday, she and her attorney sued to prevent any payout to the winner until the courts can look into the matter.
How do you explain this other woman having the ticket?
I don't explain it. It's so ridiculous to believe that because there's a system, somebody didn't screw up.
But Mega Millions officials say Rebecca Jemison has convinced them she is the real deal. And she says she won't waste much time worrying about a legal challenge.
That I'm not concerned with. I'll let the authorities handle her.
As for Alicia Brooks, the odds seem stacked against her. Now reports have surfaced about legal problems in her past, and police say if they can prove it, they may charge her with filing a false report, which means she may well wind up in court, just not the way she'd planned. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Cleveland.
More lottery news now. The winner of the biggest single lottery jackpot in American history may be heading to jail. Andrew Whitaker won $315 million in the Powerball 2 years ago. Now he's charged with threatening to kill the manager of a bar in West Virginia. Police say he tried to hit the man, then threatened to kill him and his entire family. If Whitaker is convicted, he could go to jail for up to 6 months and have to pay a fine that he can certainly afford. That fine, $100.
Now imagine this, your local school officials winding up in court if your child's education doesn't get better. Virginia's General Assembly is considering legislation that would do exactly that, force local school officials to take action to improve schools or face a judge and explain why they didn't. The bill defines steps local districts with unaccredited schools need to take to improve. If the bill passes, the State Board of Education would be empowered to take districts to court to force compliance. We'll keep you advised.
Some local folks are winning awards for wine from places you would never dream of. Details are coming up. And talk about recycling. Imagine using old French fry oil to power your truck. It is working. We're going to show you how next. And right now, take a look at your evening commute from VDOT and our News Channel 3 Skycam network. Traffic moving along pretty well right now along Indian River Road. We're back in just moments with more.
Where will you be Friday night?
At the Greenbrier Mall.
Because it's time to outwit, outplay, outlast. It's time to audition for the next survivor.
Join us, the 2WD Breakfast Bunch, and your News Channel 3 Friday night at Greenbrier Mall.
Go to WTKR.com for details. We'll see you Friday.
Your News Channel 3 at noon, the #1 rated new newscast in Hampton Roads, covering your news in your neighborhood. From Hampton Roads' only satellite newsroom in Virginia Beach, closer to where you live, closer to your news. Your News Channel 3 at noon.
The 10-day triple Doppler forecast, only on your News Channel 3.
If you are a welder, or if you've worked around welding fumes, you might have a claim for money damages. If you've been exposed to welding fumes and have experienced stiff or weak muscles, including facial muscles, loss of balance, slurred speech, tremors or shaking, trouble walking, and changes in handwriting or other symptoms diagnosed as Parkinson's disease, call the law offices of Glasser & Glasser to see if you have a claim for money damages. Call 625-6787.
Well, when you think of winemaking, you probably wouldn't think about these next folks.
But that's exactly what they do, Tom. And in fact, they recently placed first in an international winemaking competition. News Channel 3's Kurt Williams is live in our Virginia Beach newsroom with more on this rather unusual story. Are you familiar with that saying, that little old winemaker me? Kurt, we're talking about senior citizens.
I know it sounds strange. They do play bingo, they do ceramics, and they just happen to make wine. And they entered it in a competition involving 4 countries, 41 states, and these seniors brought home the gold.
Cheers.
There's reason to celebrate at this Virginia Beach retirement community. They placed first in their category, winning a gold for their wine, Golden Glow.
Oh, happy day. Finally. It's like passing an exam.
82-year-old Mary Etheridge and the others in this group say they love this, from picking the grapes at a local vineyard to crushing them by hand back at their center.
Oh, it was fun, and if you have arthritis, it's wonderful for your fingers. Makes them feel good.
They do the entire process here. They have a wine press, put on their own labels, but some things they have to be creative.
This is our wine cellar, AKA storage room.
And during the fermentation process, to keep the wine at a constant temperature, it's wrapped in an Afghan that was made by one of the residents here. Mary admits when she first heard about this activity, she thought they'd be stomping grapes in a vat like Lucille Ball.
Yes, I'd dance around with those grapes and squash every one of them. I'd have a good time. And then they told me, nope, you can't do that here. Too old for that. Get in that vat, you're liable to drown.
They were so full of fun, a great spirit, great sense of humor, and the seniors at Marion Manor, the only retirement community out of the 1,500 entries in this international amateur winemaking competition. Their first place victory will be featured in the upcoming issue of Winemaker magazine. Live in our Virginia Beach newsroom at Town Center, Kurt Williams, News Channel 3.
Well, wouldn't it be great if you could use this kind of oil? Yes, use it in your car. It's a timing thing, folks. That's exactly what they're starting to do in Brazil, collecting used oil from fast food restaurants and processing it into fuel for diesel engines. It is called biodiesel fuel, created from vegetable oils and other farm products. It even works in regular diesel engines. Without giving you a whole chemistry lesson here, folks, we'll just tell you that the trick to this whole thing is using massive amounts of sugar to process the oil. No problem for Brazil, the world's largest grower of sugarcane.
Well, an animal shelter in Northern Virginia is facing an entirely new challenge, finding a good home for an 800-pound pig that somehow wound up in the middle of a highway. Imagine that. Now, police in Prince William County found the pig and took it to the pound. The place usually handles only dogs and cats, but workers made room for the pig and say it's well behaved and happy. They hope someone comes forward to adopt it. Well, NASA hopes to keep up its winning streak, planning for the Spirit to roam the red planet. Plus, it looks like they came from another planet, but this spawn belongs to us. We'll tell you why they're so special and pretty next.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. We're giving away a hot spring sauna spa from Great Atlantic. Hot Spring, America's #1 selling spa. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
Hampton Roads' success of Your News Channel 3 is all because of you. Tell us what you think. Email us at your3@WTKR.com. We're building our station around you. Make us Your News Channel 3.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. The time for you to help is now. Donate your blood at this year's event, and together we can save a life. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
It's Hampton Roads' largest health event, and it's free. The News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo, January 24th and 25th at the Virginia Beach Pavilion. There's sports and fitness demonstrations, health and wellness information, and free screenings. The News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
What do you want from a car deal? I want fair, no, low prices.
I want honesty, someone I can trust.
I want value, something special.
What about tires for life?
At the First Team Automotive Group, new cars, trucks, and SUVs include Tires for Life. Tires for Life, the idea was yours. We just listened. 9 brands, 5 locations, Tires for Life included. If you're not getting what you want, you're not at a First Team store.
Fans of the movie Finding Nemo, young and old alike, will really like this next story. Due to its popularity, the movie has spawned a whole new generation of fish enthusiasts and turned the spotlight on what's being called the enlightened fish. At first glance, the fish appear like any other tropical fish until you realize they're glowing. Now, these glowfish make the first ever genetically engineered pet.
The glowfish is a fluorescent zebrafish. It is bright red under regular room light, and in a dark room under a black light, it will appear to glow in the dark.
Unfortunately, a controversy has bubbled up over the glowfish. They're currently banned in California. Florida may follow suit, we're told, to keep more pets from being genetically engineered.
Well, NASA officials say the Spirit spacecraft may start roaming the surface of Mars as early as Monday. Scientists say they can't wait to see what is sent back from the red planet with this one, especially after the already spectacular pictures we've seen so far. CBS reporter Jerry Bowen brings us the details.
Spirit's first color postcard from Mars reveals vivid details of a small part of its landing site, with the best full panoramic views still to come.
This is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what you're about to see.
Images so stunning, the assembled science reporters did something reporters rarely do. A field of rocks, few boulders here, with smooth surfaces that may be the result of sandblasting over time by Martian winds. Picture clarity that impressed even the scientist in charge of the rover cameras.
I think my reaction has been one of shock and awe.
And in one corner of the picture, a tantalizing mystery.
We're dying to get a close-up look at this stuff. But
In the upper right, a dark, wrinkled, folded mystery substance is seen, apparently exposed when the lander's protective airbags deflated and were retracted across the soil.
Strange, but this stuff is very cohesive. It breaks away in pieces, and it's not like anything that I have ever seen before. It's very weird-looking stuff.
There's speculation that ancient water evaporated in the soil, leaving a cement-like salt residue behind.
It looks like mud, but it can't be mud. It sort of looks like when you scrunch it, it folds up, and that's not like most materials that I can imagine being on Mars.
Today, Spirit will get the command to stand up on all 6 wheels for its rollout early next week.
We'll be able to drive a lot further than we initially anticipated because we didn't know what the terrain would look like.
But it looks like nothing but smooth driving ahead. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Pasadena.
Well, Dave was just fascinated about that.
I think it's unbelievable that people can actually do that.
I think it's unbelievable we might have snow in the forecast.
I think it's unbelievable they can get that picture, and my cell phone will go out when you go through a tunnel.
That's true. Let's get them working on that, shall we?
Those are the guys we need on that, and gals. Outside right now on Triple Doppler radar, skies are dry, and we will stay dry until likely early in the day Friday, and that's when we will likely see a few snow flurries, which of course Tom alluded to. Skies right now dry, will stay dry for the rest of tonight and tomorrow. Big weather story for the next couple of days. Not so much the chance of flurries on Friday, but the cold air. One of our Triple Doppler weather watchers, Jim Becker, checking in from Virginia Beach, had a high today at his house of 35 degrees, and right now it's only at 31. Lows tonight down in the teens and 20s. Hey, here's a really pretty picture for you. It is the night of the full moon. And this is from the Westminster Canterbury building there in the Shore Drive section of Virginia Beach. We are looking off to the east, and you can see that full moon rising up into the sky. It's hitting some high, thin cirrus clouds. That's why it looks like the light is really radiating out. And January, the full moon is either called the Old Yule Moon or maybe the Wolf Moon. But that is a beautiful shot there tonight. Clear skies tonight. And chilly temperatures, low and mid-30s right now on the south side, down to 30 in Hampton. Baywater temperature today is at 44 degrees. Air temperature in Chesapeake is at 36, and in the West Craddock section of Portsmouth right now it's 32 degrees. 31 in Newport News and Williamsburg. It's 20s on the eastern shore, 36 in Suffolk, low and mid-30s from Wakefield to Franklin, down to the freezing mark in Ahoskie and Elizabeth City and Manteo, 36 in Edenton, and it's 31 right now at Oceana in Virginia Beach. So not an extreme night in regards to temperatures. I mean, to me, when it's cold, it's when it gets down into the single digits and teens, but it is certainly going to be the coldest night we've had so far this winter. We'll drop down to 18 to 24 degrees. There's that full moon, a little breezy out there. Wind chills right now down in the teens and down in the 20s. Cold days. We had one today, and they're going to be around all the way through the weekend. Now, this red line you see here, that's the normal high all the way through the weekend, and that's 48 degrees. Look how far below we will be. We'll be down to 38 tomorrow, a little colder by Friday. Saturday, the coldest day with highs only in the upper 20s and low 30s, and we'll hold in the mid-30s by Sunday. Skies right now mainly clear. We'll have a few clouds that will move in tonight. And then as we head towards tomorrow, a few more clouds begin to roll in as we watch that ribbon of clouds stretching back towards the central plains. Dry tonight, dry tomorrow, chance of light snow / flurries as we head towards Friday. Now we can watch that evolve on our Futurecast radar. 7 o'clock in the morning, a fair amount of sunshine. Clouds will begin to thicken by tomorrow afternoon, so I think by late in the day it will simply be cloudy. And then by Friday, it gets a little more interesting. Little area of low pressure will be just offshore, and you can see that arc of snow there. I think a lot of the snow will be offshore, but it will be close enough on Friday that much of the area, especially in Carolina, should get some flurries, maybe even a few brief snow showers. Accumulations, if any, should be very, very minor. Tomorrow, back in the mid and upper 30s, just a couple of degrees warmer than today, or a couple of degrees less cold than it was today. Mid and upper 30s also from Matthews and Williamsburg and Tab. Mid-30s, that's it tomorrow from Hallwood to Kiptopeke on the eastern shore. And in Carolina tomorrow, 37 at the Outer Banks and 40 in Edenton. Now in our 10-day forecast, we're going to have cold weather this weekend. It does get a little warmer beginning Monday when we're back in the 40s. We'll stay in the 40s through Wednesday. And then in our 10-day forecast, days 8, 9, and 10, the trend is for another system to head in Thursday, and then we're back in the 30s as we head towards next weekend.
It is time to bring out those coats.
Absolutely. That was today.
Bundle up, folks. Thank you, Dave. Right. A Hollywood actor keeps his word as The Last Samurai sails overseas. More in minutes.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. The time for you to help is now. Donate your blood at this year's event, and together we can save a life. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
You want more weather information beyond a 7-day forecast?
I'd like more than 7 days.
If you gave me more than 7 days, that would be great.
I'd like to get more than 7 days if I could.
It would be nice to have an extended forecast.
Maybe 8, 9, or 10 days.
Now, only your News Channel 3 gives you a 10-day forecast.
More days than a 7-day.
At least 9.
10 days. 10 days.
I'd love to see a 10-day forecast.
The 10-day triple Doppler forecast, only on your News Channel 3.
After 10 years, it all comes down to this. The last Saturday of the North Carolina Company. Before we close and change our store forever. One day. The great names in furniture, rugs, and mattresses at losses we'll never have to take again. Thousands of one-of-a-kind pieces from Henredon, Baker, Century, Bernhardt, Kingsdown. Handmade Oriental rugs. It'll be the biggest furniture sale in our history. It'll be our last Saturday. 9 a.m. at the North Carolina Company.
CBS Thursday will keep you guessing. 12 jurors behind locked doors. One baffling murder.
11 guilty, 1 not guilty. Now that's motive.
An all-new CSI. Then, a paparazzi goes missing.
Whatever pictures he took, someone wanted them.
And the only hope of finding him in time...
As long as you get him back.
...is his 10-year-old daughter.
Tell me if you've seen him before. But you have to tell me the truth.
He told me not to tell anyone.
And all new Without a Trace after 2 hours of CSI CBS Thursday.
A former royal coroner tries to put rumors to bed about Princess Di while the official inquest into her death is placed on hold.
Now, the coroner was quoted in the Times of London as saying Diana was not pregnant when she died. He says he knows Diana was not pregnant because he looked for that when he examined her body. This comes as the current coroner opened a formal inquest into the deaths of the princess and her boyfriend Dodi Al-Fayed more than 6 years after the Paris crash that killed them. Now, the former press secretary of Prince Charles agrees there's no truth to the rumor. Conspiracy theorists, including Dodi's father, still claim the couple was murdered because their affair embarrassed the royal family and British establishment. Actor Tom Cruise promised to sign every autograph the night his movie The Last Samurai opened in the UK. And he kept his word. More on the samurai superstar from Elizabeth Palmer.
Tom Cruise knows the politics of showbiz. While his girlfriend Penelope got some of the attention, Cruise gave himself to his fans for 2.5 hours.
For me, it's not an effort. For me, I look at people come out to say hello to me, and all these bad manners not to say hello, but it's something that I enjoy.
We've been here for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, just to get here, just to get in front and get this one, and he did.
Even reporters wanted a piece of the action.
Okay.
And will you sign my arm?
Oh, I'll sign your arm.
You see? You're
I ask you to sign?
Maybe I would.
Okay.
So he put his name there and his phone number here. No, he didn't. Yeah, right, in my dreams.
Cruise has been nominated for an Oscar 3 times, and he claims he's not chasing one this time.
I don't make movies for awards, you know, so when they happen, it's something that I look at and I go, oh, this is great.
But his role in The Last Samurai could clinch the Academy Award for him. Cruise handles swords as well as he handles crowds, and that will certainly make him a strong contender. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
Live at 6, home of Triple Doppler Radar. This is your News Channel 3.
On your News Channel 3 at 6, a Peninsula mother lashes out about the tragic loss of her son, college student Patrick McKinley. Plus, the Washington Redskins have lured Coach Joe Gibbs from the pit to the sidelines. Stand by for the talk of the town tonight. But first, residents and workers scramble to repair Hurricane Isabel's damage before winter really sets in. Good evening, I'm Tom Randall.
And I'm Barbara Sierra. Well, there is no doubt about it. Winter has certainly arrived. Hampton Roads is looking at another night of cold temperatures. Your News Channel 3 has team coverage of the weather tonight. Karen May spent today in Poquoson, where people are facing the cold in homes wrecked by Isabel. But first, let's get straight to the weather and talk to Dave Parker. Hello, Dave.
Hi, I think for most areas, for most folks, not a big deal tonight. It simply means higher heating bills, but obviously for those who don't have proper homes tonight, a proper way to keep warm, it will certainly be cold. Overnight lows tonight dropping down into the teens and 20s. One of the reasons it will be so cold tonight is this right here, a live look with our Skycam 3 network. This is the view from the Westminster Canterbury building there along the Chesapeake Bay. Clear skies tonight allow that cold air to continue to drain down to the surface, and that's why temperatures tonight down in the teens and 20s. Right now, we're mainly in the 20s and 30s across the area. You factor in the wind, and the wind chills are down in the teens and 20s already. But overnight lows tonight, on average, 21 to 24 from Cape Charles to Matthews, Williamsburg, Hampton down towards Portsmouth, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. But you get north of Gloucester and Matthews, you head inland from Smithfield and Franklin in the Suffolk area, and temperatures there tonight, 17 to 20 degrees. In fact, much colder weather is on the way as we head towards the weekend. We'll actually talk about our possibility of flurries on Friday. That's coming up in the Triple Doppler forecast.
See you then, Dave. Well, if you're not especially thrilled with the cold, just think of your neighbors whose homes are still a wreck from Hurricane Isabel. It's been 4 months since the storm, but today we found plenty of people in Poquoson who will be facing tonight's weather in damaged homes. As News Channel 3's Karen May shows us, the cold is making life much more challenging. Karen?
Well, Tom, many people in Poquoson are just trying to get back to the basics, like having heat on a cold night like tonight. Still, it's not putting a chill on their perspective.
Well, we were really fortunate, though, because we were able to live in this part of the house.
Still, Hurricane Isabel hardly left the Prince's home in Poquoson untouched.
All right, this is the water level on my front porch. I don't know whether that was exactly the highest point.
The water wiped out much of their property, and almost 4 months after the storm, as cold weather grips Hampton Roads, the Prince family still doesn't have a working heating system.
I got up this morning, it was like 59 in here. I have my office here, too. I'm a bookkeeper. So when I get through there, I usually just hop in the bed and cover up, get warm.
Since the storm, Patricia and Clyde Prince have been on a waiting list to have their heating system repaired. Luckily, by the time we caught up with them, crews had finally come to fix the problem. Until the system is in working order, the family relies on alternative ways to keep warm, including a gas log fireplace and a propane heater.
Not designed to be in a house, I know, but I'm only using it during the daytime a little while to help knock the chill down.
And the Princes say it's going to cost them almost $10,000 to fix their heating and air conditioning system. But fortunately, unlike a lot of people, they say their flood insurance will help pay for most of it. Reporting live from the Peninsula Newsroom, Karen May, News Channel 3.
Only on your News Channel 3. A Norfolk mother is speaking out tonight, one day after filing a lawsuit in her son's death. 3-year-old Riker Hamilton was on a whale-watching cruise Christmas Day in Hawaii when he was hit on the head by the boat's railing and died. Now his family is suing the cruise company, saying an inattentive captain caused Riker's death. Today, in an exclusive interview aired on your News Channel 3, Riker's family tells Inside Edition the lawsuit is not about money.
Purple laying on this bench. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
If we can do something to prevent another child or individual from dying or getting seriously injured and having a family go through this, then it will be worth it.
Meantime, the president of Dream Cruises Hawaii, which operates the boat, says the accident was tragic but unavoidable. The Coast Guard cleared the tour boat company of any wrongdoing. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, is still investigating. Well, it started as an argument in a bar and ended with a man shot dead on a street in downtown Norfolk.
Today, Joseph Michael Great heard the verdict of the jury in that case. It was guilty of first-degree murder and the killing of Derek Williams. Great was sentenced to 20 years in prison. News Channel 3's Bob Matthews is live in downtown Norfolk with the story. Bob?
Tom, it was Valentine's 2002 that Derek Williams and Michael Great got into a fight here in Waterside, and then they left this parking garage across the street. Williams left in his car first, and then Great followed. They met up on Freemason Street. That's where the shooting went down. Great was found guilty of that shooting today, and we were able to talk with Derek Williams' mother after the trial. She told us that after a very long 2 years, she feels justice has finally been served. Throughout the 3-day trial, Juanita Gainey fought back tears. The man accused of killing her son, Michael Great, sat less than 10 feet from her in a Norfolk courtroom. In the end, Great would be found guilty and sentenced to 23 years in prison, but Gainey said afterwards she hates neither Great or his family.
But in my heart, I have no hatred for Miss Great. She hasn't done anything to me. Her child committed a crime.
The last time the two families were in court, things were not as calm.
We had the preliminary hearing. Quite natural, I'm a mother. I lost my child. So I was very angry inside.
And since that night when Derek Williams was shot in February 2002, life has been one long nightmare after another.
I go in Derek's room, I look at all the pictures. Last night was the first night I actually smiled.
It was here on Freemason Street where the shooting went down back on Valentine's Day 2002, and Juanita said, even though it has been almost 2 years, it was hard to hear the details of the final moments of her son's life.
My son was laying there gurgling and bleeding out the mouth, and that he was actually dying. It was so cold that night.
Juanita says she knows Derek was not a saint, that he got into fights. Court testimony said he had alcohol and traces of cocaine and ecstasy in his system, but his death has devastated her.
He was a fighter, as I told you the last time. He would, if you came at him, he'd come back at you. Spoke to Miss Great, and I told her, I said, who's to say what our children do when they walk outside our house?
Great's lawyers were arguing self-defense in this case. However, it appears that the jury thought it was too much of a coincidence that both cars followed the same route to Freemason Street before the shooting went down. Live at the Norfolk Mobile Newsroom in downtown, Bob Matthews, News Channel 3.
Well, sentencing for convicted sniper John Ella Muhammad has been postponed. The hearing had been set for mid-February in Prince William County, but one of Muhammad's attorneys will be in Europe and unable to attend. The hearing will likely be rescheduled for March or April. A Virginia Beach jury convicted Muhammad in November of 2 counts of capital murder for the slaying of Dean Myers at a gas station in Manassas. The jury recommended the death penalty. A former state prison guard admits he's a bank robber, pleading guilty to robbing the same Gloucester bank twice in 2 months. William Sean Green of Lancaster County pleaded guilty yesterday and will be sentenced February 24th. His attorney says his client admitted, quote, asking for money from the bank tellers, but says Green never actually threatened the tellers, which would only make him guilty of larceny. Green had been a corrections officer at the Haynesville Correctional Center.
Oh, tonight, the city of Hampton is preparing for a new leader. Current mayor Mamie Locke is headed to Richmond. She won the 2nd District Senate seat back in November and officially steps down as mayor January 13th. Today, City Council began reviewing applications for the council job. Whoever is named as her replacement will serve until June 30th. Then that person will have to run for re-election if they choose to in the spring. Oh, the man who led the Washington Redskins to count 'em, 3 Super Bowl titles is back.
We're talking about Coach Joe Gibbs. He's agreed to return to the Redskins, and this is certainly a big water cooler story of the night. In fact, Sports Director Terry Alexander is here to talk about it, and this is some encouraging news for Redskins fans.
Well, after the run they've had the last couple of years, they're celebrating in the streets. Yes, and folks, tonight in the district, a lot of whooping going on. Joe Gibbs, the greatest coach in the Washington Redskins history, is returning to the sidelines. Chalk one up for Daniel Snyder. The Washington owner has made his share of mistakes since buying the team, but this move has electrified the city and the area. For the next 9 months, Redskin fans will actually have hope. They'll remember Gibbs' Super Bowl years led by quarterbacks Theismann, Williams, and Rippon. But can a guy who hasn't coached in the National Football League since 1992 step back in and succeed? Let's remember the game has certainly changed a lot in the last decade. Here's why Gibbs has a shot. He's flexible, he's smart, and he knows how to manage people. Keep in mind his trip into NASCAR racing ownership has been incredibly successful with a pair of championships. People are people no matter what they do, and Joe Gibbs knows how to motivate and manage them. Here's Joe Theismann.
Well, it's a bit of a surprise only because you never really heard his name mentioned over the last 12 years. Normally when a guy wants to try and get back in, you hear the rumors, you hear the innuendos that he might be interested. Joe never really expressed those interests. I've talked to him more in the last year than I have in the last 12 years.
The official announcement is expected to be made tomorrow. Coming up in our sports segment, more reaction to the return of Hall of Famer Joe Gibbs to the Washington Redskins.
And straight ahead, animal control unit sees a woman's dogs because they say she was over the limit. Plus, hear what this mother has to say as she prepares for her son's wake. Her 18-year-old son was gunned down on New Year's Day. And beach police say this fire was no accident tonight. They tell your News Channel 3 they arrested a man for arson.
Thanks for making your News Channel 3 at 6 the fastest growing newscast.
I thought I was prepared for everything, but I wasn't prepared for Jimmy to flush his sister's rag doll down the toilet and then use a hammer and a screwdriver to fix the situation. Payday's not till next Friday, but we needed a new toilet yesterday.
With Check and Go branches across the country, our cash advances can help you make it to your next payday. Call ahead for quicker service and walk out with money in hand.
Thanks to Check and Go, we once again can go. Check and Go.
Because payday is days away.
Weekend, we dumped everything. This Friday, it's a whole new dump. 10,000 pieces of brand new, brand name furniture, rugs, and mattresses. At 10 a.m. Friday, everything will be at least 30 to 60% off price. Leather sofas from LA's Design District, off price. Bedrooms and dining rooms from Architectural Digest, way, way, way off price. Persian rugs, antique reproductions, wait till you see those prices. It's a whole new dump, and it's all 30 to 60% off price. Friday to the dump.
Tonight, a mother has a message for the 2 men accused of gunning down her 18-year-old son.
Patrick McKinley was killed on New Year's Day, and now these 2 teens are behind bars charged in his death. And News Channel 3's Lisa Gottlieb sat down with the victim's mother just a few hours ago, and she joins us from our Peninsula newsroom with more on this heartbreaking story. Lisa?
Barbara, Jeanette Richardson says her son's murder happened for no reason. She says those responsible not only took a life but terrorized her community because no one knew if they would be next, and she's glad that tonight they're behind bars.
The moment I saw my dead son, I did forgive these people who caused this. However, a capital H, however, they will not get by our judicial system easy. And
It's been almost a week since Jeanette Richardson's oldest son, 18-year-old Patrick McKinley, was gunned down outside the family's Marina Drive home. The college student was at home celebrating the new year when he went outside to ask people in a car to stop honking the horn. Two 18-year-olds are now in the Newport News jail charged with the crime, Kyle Sanders and Patrick Denny.
I do believe this crime was unnecessary, and whatever drugs, alcohol these boys may have been on to give them a state of mind that they wouldn't care that they shot somebody they didn't know, they still are where they're at. And hopefully they will not get out on bond.
So far, no bond for either man has been set. Meanwhile, at a wake in Newport News, family members and friends are paying tribute to the son that Richardson describes as a kind, giving soul who stood for peace, humanity, and acceptance. And when asked about the punishment that she believes her son's alleged killer should receive, Richardson had this to say.
I would be satisfied with life sentences for both of them. I don't want to see them out again.
Now, tonight's wake for Patrick McKinley will continue until 8 o'clock at Altmeier's Funeral Home, and there will be a memorial service tomorrow, which will start at 7 o'clock at Woodside High School. Reporting live from the Peninsula Newsroom at Oyster Point, Lisa Godley, News Channel 3.
And coming up next, while one woman mourns the sudden loss of her family pets, another is in big trouble for having too many animals. Those stories in a moment on the other side of the break.
Where will you be Friday night?
At the Greenbrier Mall.
Because it's time to outwit, outplay, outlast. It's time to audition for the next survivor.
Join us, the 2WD Breakfast Bunch, and your News Channel 3 Friday night at Greenbrier Mall.
Go to WTKR.com for details. We'll see you Friday.
It's almost here, the News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo, January 24th and 25th at the Virginia Beach Pavilion. It's Hampton Roads' largest health event, and it's free. There's sports and fitness demonstrations, health and wellness information, and free screenings. Visit the News Channel 3 booth and learn more about weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Parker. And kick up your heels at the dance place with your favorite DJs from Rejoice 100.9. The News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo at the Virginia Beach Pavilion.
You won't find the best deal on a new Dodge minivan here. You'll find it here. Their ad is our ad. Bring us the lowest price from any newspaper in the country. We'll beat the price or give you $100. Virginia's best prices and biggest selection of new Dodge vehicles. And great prices on used cars and trucks. Virginia Beach Dodge and Greenbrier Dodge, where their ad is our ad.
This Saturday will not be an ordinary Saturday at Haynes. It will be a super Saturday. Because everything in the store, every single piece of furniture, every carpet and oriental rug will be reduced up to 55% off. But only this Saturday, 10 to 10 at Haynes.
Millions of people have fond memories of their college or university days. Harris Publishing, the industry leader in producing alumni and membership directories, has been providing world-class service for over 40 years. Right now, Harris Publishing is looking for top professionals in our inside sales department who want to make a place for themselves with the employer of choice. Join an organization with top pay, quick start medical and other benefits, flexible schedules, and the ability to advance in the organization. Find out how Harris Publishing can connect you with a great career. Call 965-8100.
This triple Doppler weather is brought to you by Cavalier Telephone.
New details tonight about a house fire in Virginia Beach. Police say it was a case of arson, and the suspect is now in custody. Flames ripped through this home on Rising Sun Arch on New Year's Day. There were 3 people inside the home at the time. One person suffered serious burns. The other 2 were treated and released. Tonight, 40-year-old Frederick Desant sits in jail without bond.
An early morning blaze destroys one home but shakes up an entire neighborhood in Portsmouth. Fire ripped through this home on Harris Road in Craddock just before 1 this morning. There were no humans inside, but there were 2 family pets. And neighbors tell your News Channel 3 they did everything they could to try to save a house cat and a Great Dane inside. Residents say the dog named Jasper will be missed.
He stayed behind that big fence right there. They wouldn't let him out. It looked like a horse coming down the road.
It was a great loss for her and for us. We all like animals a lot, so we were kind of sad to see the dog go. We enjoyed the dog, listening to him and playing with him.
Authorities tell us the fire was an accident. It was caused by a malfunctioning oil-burning floor furnace.
A Norfolk woman is feeling some heat tonight after animal control crews removed several dogs from her home. On Tuesday, officers seized 6 dogs and 1 cat from Rebecca Outlaw's home at 3120 Westminster Avenue. Now, Ms. Outlaw was issued summonses for failure to perform the duties of ownership, keeping more than 4 dogs, failure to license animals, and failure to vaccinate animals against rabies. We're told neighbors had complained repeatedly about as many as 10 dogs running loose from her residence and chasing pedestrians.
Well, after temperatures in the 70s last week, we have a long stretch of 30s ahead of us. And of course, that began today. It gets even colder as we head towards the weekend. Temperatures today held mainly around 32 up to 38 degrees. Our friends out of the Deep Creek Weather Service said they had a high there today of only 34 degrees. And right now it's down to the freezing mark at 32. By morning, most areas dropping down into the upper teens and low 20s. Coldest night so far. Outside right now with our live Skycam 3 network, this is the view from the top of the Dominion Tower. Looking across the Elizabeth River over towards Portsmouth under the full moon tonight. Skies will continue to be clear and certainly cold. So let's talk about the temperatures. That will certainly be the big weather story, at least over the next couple of days. Down to 30 already at the beach, 34 in Norfolk, 30 in Hampton, 30 in Portsmouth, 36 right now out at Fentress Airfield. And the Baywater temperature right now out of the CBBT is at 44 degrees. 20s right now on the Eastern Shore, down to 30 from Hampton to Newport News, Williamsburg, Croker, and Norge. 34 right now in surprising Suffolk. It's 30 in Wakefield, 32 in Ahoskie, 30 at the Coast Guard Station in Elizabeth City, and in Edenton, one of the best downtown areas in the region, it's 36 degrees there. So the coldest night so far, certainly nothing bitter. Of course, here in Hampton Roads, we get temperatures that drop down below 0, down in the single digits, but well above that tonight, 18 to 24 degrees, and a beautiful night tonight. In regards to the full moon, it will be bright, it will be crisp. It's the kind of night or kind of full moon that just lights up your whole house. A little breezy out there, wind chills right now down in the teens and 20s. So here's what happens, or rather here's the weather that is on the way. Well, first high today made it up to 35 degrees. We dropped down to 27 degrees this morning. And as we talked about, it's going to be a little colder as we start off tomorrow. Here's the weather that is on the way. Highs will stay in the 30s all the way through Sunday. We are looking at some flurries likely for Friday. Don't get too excited about it. It's not going to be much. We're looking at very little snow for Friday. The best chance for that will be along the coast, especially along the Carolina coast. So here's the setup for Friday. A little weak area of low pressure will work its way offshore for Friday. There will be a lot of cold air in place, and it will drag in that cold, damp Atlantic air and should be just enough to give us some flurries and maybe a few snow showers, especially, as I mentioned, along the coast. We can watch that evolve in our Futurecast radar. Shows you where the clouds and snow will be through Friday. Tomorrow morning, lots of sunshine to start. Clouds will thicken through the afternoon. This is how it looks by 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And then by Friday, we'll see that area of low pressure begin to develop off the Carolina coast, and there's that light snow, and I think some of that begins to roll inland as well. Tomorrow, back in the mid and upper 30s, just a couple of degrees warmer than what you had today. Lots of sunshine for most of the day, but clouds in the afternoon. Mid and upper 30s tomorrow for Matthews, Williamsburg, and Tabb. Mid 30s, that's it tomorrow on the Eastern Shore. Cold again tomorrow in North Carolina. Highs there from 37 at the Outer Banks to 40 in Edenton. Now, in our 10-day forecast, we've got a little bit of snow on Friday. Weekend mainly dry, maybe a Bay Effect flurry on Saturday. It's going to be cold this weekend, 40s next week. Next chance of rain, maybe snow Thursday of next week. Cold again as we head towards next weekend. News Channel 3 at 6 is back right after this.
Coming up on Inside Edition, imagine going on a family whale watching expedition and coming home without your child. A collision with a humpback whale and how it killed a little boy from Norfolk. For the first time, his mother talks today at 4:30 on News Channel 3.
News Channel 3 is proud to be part of the town center of Virginia Beach.
This Saturday will not be an ordinary Saturday at Haynes. It will be a Super Saturday. Because everything in the store, every single piece of furniture, every carpet and oriental rug will be reduced up to 55% off. But only only this Saturday, 10 to 10 at Haynes.
If you are a welder, or if you've worked around welding fumes, you might have a claim for money damages. If you've been exposed to welding fumes and have experienced stiff or weak muscles, including facial muscles, loss of balance, slurred speech, tremors or shaking, trouble walking, and changes in handwriting or other symptoms diagnosed as Parkinson's disease, call the law offices of Glasser & Glasser to see if you have a claim for money damages. Call 625-6787.
Stopping SARS. This rare breed of cat may be to blame, but is the U.S. prepared to deal with another outbreak? Tonight, what's being done on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Little life lesson here. If you can motivate people, you can do a lot of things. If you hire the right people and allow them to do what they can do, you can succeed and be happy. Joe Gibbs knows that, which is why he's been successful wherever he goes and whatever he does. His next project will be the 2004 Washington Redskins. That's right, the man who led the team to 3 Super Bowl championships, then left to become a NASCAR owner, is coming back to Washington. It looks like a 5-year, $25 million deal for Gibbs. Hey, that's Spurrier money. But the Joe Gibbs resume is a bit more impressive than the most recent Daniel Snyder experiment. Just ask his former players.
He certainly had a lot to offer the game when he left. It was rumored at the time that he left for health reasons. But, you know, when you take on something like NASCAR, you'd have to feel if a guy was kind of...
Obviously, Rigo short of breath here tonight. Yeah. Leave it to Joe Gibbs to steal the thunder from Tom Coughlin, the New York Giants. Oh, yeah, the Giants introduced their new head coach to the media today. The man who went 72-64 in 8 seasons coaching the Jaguars is back with the G-Men, Tom Coughlin.
What we must be all about right now immediately is the restoration of pride, of self-pride, of team pride, the restoration of our professionalism and the dignity with which we conduct our business. We must restore our belief in the process by which we will win, and we must replace despair with hope and return the energy and the passion to New York Giant football.
You know, Tom Coughlin just doesn't inspire me to want to do anything but sleep. Anyway, coming up this weekend, the playoffs continue. Carolina at St. Louis. That's the Saturday 4:30 game. Tennessee at New England. That's our game here on News Channel 3 Saturday. Sunday, we'll kick it off on News Channel 3 at 1 o'clock with Indy and Kansas City, Green Bay and Philadelphia the other one. When we return, more fun, more frolic live from downtown Norfolk. Keep it on News Channel 3.
It takes a lot to build a handcrafted Kingsdown mattress. Saturday, it takes less money than ever to own one. This Saturday, Kingsdown and Haynes give you the biggest one-day sale this country's ever seen. Never could you sleep on a massive $2,500 coil-on-coil Kingsdown for $995. Every Kingsdown reduced for 1 day. Queen sets from $375. No interest for a full year. And a set of 350 thread count Kingsdown custom sheets free on Kingsdown Day, Saturday at Haynes.
TCC, we offer more than 80 course disciplines and certifications, ranging from horticulture to pottery. And with campuses in Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, and Virginia Beach, an affordable, rewarding education is accessible to everyone, even online. Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. Be sure to stop by the Farm Fresh booth to learn about and sample foods promoting a healthy lifestyle through the Farm Fresh Natural Connection. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
You want more weather information beyond a 7-day forecast?
I'd like more than 7 days.
If you gave me more than 7 days, that would be great.
I'd like to get more than 7 days if I could.
It would be nice to have an extended forecast.
Maybe 8, 9, or 10 days.
Now, only your News Channel 3 gives you a 10-day forecast.
More days than a 7-day. At least 9.
10 days. 10 days.
I'd love to see a 10-day forecast.
The 10-day triple Doppler forecast, only on your News Channel 3.
The first bullet shattered his hand. The second and third hit his shoulder and leg. As he hit the jungle floor, he rallied the troops and directed the firefight. He remained with his unit until the battle was over. Now when we need a leader to clean up the mess in Iraq, he's the one who has done it. In the Balkans, he helped negotiate a peace between bitter enemies and led a multinational force that stopped a campaign of terror, liberated a people, and brought peace without the loss of a single American soldier. He speaks 4 languages, but his actions speak more eloquently than words. He can get our country moving on jobs and health care. A quiet, real American courage in a man who cares first about the people he leads. Wes Clark's life is simply an American story, but he will make an extraordinary American president.
I'm Wes Clark, and I approve this message.
The Old Dominion men's hoop team is in Fairfax tonight for a big conference battle against George Mason. Blaine Taylor's Monarchs will be tested at the Patriot Center as they take on 8-2 George Mason. GMU 1-0 in the Colonial Athletic Association this season. The Monarchs will hit the court 1-0 in the league, 6-4 overall. We're going to get highlights to you at 11.
Go Monarchs, go Skins.
That's right.
Go everybody. We're out of here. We'll see you back at 11.
Thanks for watching Your News Channel 3.
Join us again at 11.
You asked for more weather information beyond a 7-day forecast, and your News Channel 3 listen. The Triple Doppler 10-day pinpoints 7 days and trends an extra 3, giving you the information you need to plan your life. Only your News Channel 3.
Hampton Roads' success of Your News Channel 3 is all because of you. Tell us what you think. Email us at your3@WTKR.com. We're building our station around you. Make us your News Channel 3.
Here's what's happening at your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo. We are giving away a hot spring sauna spa from Great Atlantic. Hot Spring, America's #1 selling spa. Your News Channel 3 Health and Fitness Expo.
It's Hampton Roads.